Hello, friends. How are you? Today, we are starting the 30-day English Fluency Challenge. On day one, we start with the most important, yet the most basic skills how to introduce yourself. It is the most basic skills. It is one of the most important also. Why? Because wherever you meet somebody, you need to talk to them. And how do you start talking is by introducing yourself. You just cannot go up to people and start talking. Of course, if you need directions, that's a different thing. If you need directions, if you're on the road, that is different. We don't introduce ourselves while asking for directions. But there are two situations where we need to introduce ourselves. One is what we can call a formal situation, where we have a meeting, an office meeting, or a professional meeting. The setting is professional, and we have an informal meeting where we are going out with friends and our friends are introducing us to somebody new. In order to make friends, we introduce ourselves also. So, in either case, you have to introduce yourself. The only difference is that in a formal meeting, you will be doing a more formal introduction because you will be very conscious of yourself. You know that the person you are introducing yourself to is not going to be a friend but a colleague, and we usually try to keep things formal. A good self introduction helps people to remember you. You should always keep in mind that your first impression should definitely be good. And let's get into it, and I will show you step by step what you keep in mind when you are giving an introduction. I would suggest you make some notes so that you don't forget. Of course, you can come back to this video whenever you want and add some of your own experiences if you've ever been to interviews or in these situations where you feel that you have gained some experience that you can add to whatever I am already telling you. So let's start. In a formal setting, you will always start with some kind of a greeting or even an informal. So informal, you will always say hello, hi, hey, hey, how are you? Hello, what's up? How's it going? So these are like things that usually you say. Hey, and probably you will also go on first name basis also. So, hey Sam, how are you? If the person has already told you his or her name. So hey, hello, hi, what's up? How's it going? And of course, then you go on to say your name. In a formal setting, what you will do is you'll probably start with good morning. Okay, let me break down the formal introduction of good morning. So good morning is what we usually greet people when, of course, when we are in the morning. So in the morning time, when somebody meets you, you will greet them with good morning. 12 o'clock is noon time. So anything after that is afternoon. So if you're meeting somebody after 12 o'clock, you will greet them with good afternoon. Now, good afternoon continues up till late in the evening. So that means I'm talking about greeting somebody. In many places, you usually greet somebody with good afternoon, even something like a 6 or 7 o'clock. Because in those cultures, good evening and good night is considered like a goodbye. Like let's take leave. When you're departing from each other, parting ways, or you're going back to your respective rooms also, you would say good evening or good night in those cultures. In many cultures, of course, you can say good evening when you're greeting also. Like in India, we don't really mind saying good evening when we meet. But yes, good night throughout all cultures, it simply means that you are going back to your home or your room. So that means you are saying goodbye for the day, even good day. Although in some cultures, you know that good day is also a greeting. But we're not doing culture specific greetings, but I'm giving you the information. So remember, if you keep it neutral, then good morning and good afternoon can be a greeting. Then, of course, you are saying something like your name. Then you can say, hello, my name is Soban. Yeah, good morning, my name is Soban. So we're talking about our names. So I am Soban or my name is Soban is acceptable. In an informal setting, you can also say something like, my name is Samuel, but people call me Sam, or I am called Sam. So there is something called a nickname or a pet name or something like people call you very fondly. You can definitely introduce that to your friends, but you don't say that usually in a formal setting. You simply say, my name is Sam or my name is Samuel. Moving along, then you usually talk about where are you from. So I am from Mumbai, I am from Delhi, I am from whichever place that you come from. Many times it does happen that you are from some place and you are living in some other place. So you can say, I am from Delhi, but I am based in Mumbai, or I am from Mumbai, I'm based in Delhi. You can even say, like if you go into a formal setting, if you're talking about, an interview, I am originally from Delhi, but for the past XYZ years, let's say 5 years. So for the past 5 years, I have been living in Mumbai. Or you can say I live in Mumbai, but I grew up in Jaipur. So you can just mention that most of my life I have lived in Jaipur, but now I live in Mumbai. So these things matter in informal settings and even in formal settings in some cases, what I call conversation topics. So somebody who knows Jaipur will easily catch on to it and go on to ask you more about Jaipur or maybe share something about Jaipur that they know. So you can say, I grew up in Jaipur. I lived most of my life in Jaipur, but now I live in Mumbai. So if you are a person who has a small business or you are doing work, you are only here in this city for work or maybe somewhere else. Like maybe, let's say I am in Delhi right now, although I live in Mumbai. I've come here for a meeting. So I can say that I am from Jaipur and I am based in Mumbai because I'm meeting somebody in some other place. So I need to mention that I live in Mumbai, I'm based in Mumbai, and I'm here for work. I'm in Delhi for work. Next thing, of course, is a little information about yourself. You can go personal, of course, but usually I don't see the need for talking about age. If there is some need, if there is some situation where you believe that age should be mentioned, you can say, I am 40 years old, or 50 years old, or 30 years old, or 25 years old, whatever age you are. So I am 25 years old. Another thing that is very personal that you really don't mention, even in informal settings, is your marital status. But whatever reason there is, you can always say, I am married. You can even go on to say that I am married to a wonderful person. It can sometimes happen that the person that you are married to is also the part of a group, but she or he may not be present at that time, in which case it is definitely a good idea to mention that. So I'm married to that person, and you can say something about them also. But when it is not necessary, you can definitely avoid because it can sometimes become awkward when nobody's asked you for your marital status and you start giving it to them anyway. If you have to talk about marriage, then you can go on to say that I have been married since, or I have been in a relationship since. In this situation where I told you that where Your partner is also part of the group, but not present in the conversation right now. And the person may know that person may know your partner. Then you can definitely go on to say the age of your relationship also. So if you're not married, then you can say we are in a relationship since 3 years, or I have been married since 3 years. More information about relationships. I have 2 kids. You can definitely also mention the gender of the kids. I have one boy, one girl, or 2 girls, or whatever. Another personal information that you may or may not need to give out is your siblings. So you may not be married, but you have a brother and a sister. You can say, I have 2 siblings. If you're saying something like we are, that means you are part of that group. Then we can say we are 3 siblings. That means what I'm trying to say is one brother, one sister, and I. So there are 3 of us. We are 3 siblings. I'm sure you know what siblings mean. Siblings means your brother and sister. Like father and mother, we say parents. So brother and sister together as a group, we call them siblings. I have 2 siblings, or we are 3 siblings. I am the youngest, or I am the eldest, or I am the second of 3 siblings. Moving on to a professional and formal, even informal situations, formal, informal situations, we talk about work. So what do you do? It's a good idea, even in informal situations, to bring up your work, your profession. Again, as I said earlier, it could be a good conversation point. So it gives people the chance to talk about it if they know something about it, or even if they don't know something about that profession, they get a chance to continue the conversation by asking you the question, what is it like to be? So you can definitely say, like you said, I am Sauban, or I am Samuel. You can say, I am an engineer, or I am a doctor. One way you can say this also is, I work as. So if you're working somewhere, you have a job, you can say, I work as a software engineer, I work as a graphic designer. Definitely one of the things that you can mention, I work as. So you can talk about your profession. In this case, you have to give the name of your profession. I am a software engineer. I work as a software engineer. If you're studying, of course, you can definitely say, I am a student and I study commerce, or I study science. Or you can also go on to say, I am in my second year or first year, or if it's the last year, we can say final year. I'm in the final year of my economics degree, or degree in economics, either way. If you're looking for a job, you can definitely say that I am looking for a job. If you have left a job recently and you're looking for a job, one of the ways that you can say is, I am in between jobs. Now, this is usually an informal situation, of course. If you're in an interview, that means the HR person will definitely know that you're looking for a job. He or she is not interested that you are looking for a job. That sentence makes no sense. If you're looking for a job, that is why you're sitting in the interview. You can also mention your industry. I am in the construction industry. I am in the software industry. I am in the hospitality industry. If you are a student who have just got out of your graduation, you received your degree, you can definitely mention that also. That I have a degree in architecture, I have a degree in hospitality management, I have a degree in science, or whatever degree you have. You can also say something like, I am a qualified engineer, or I am a qualified civil engineer, I am a qualified physiotherapist, whatever degree you've done. Little more information about yourself. Now, this is going on to become a little personal. Now, this information you can also say in your interviews, also informal situations also, because it makes for good conversation pieces. And sometimes in an interview, the HR person will definitely like to know what kind of person you are. So you would like to mention the things that you do other than your job. So you can talk about your hobbies. So you can say, I love gardening in my free time, or I love reading books in my free time. I love playing video games. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with. If you are a software person, playing video games is not actually negative. A lot of people would believe that this could be a negative thing to say. Actually, something that you will mention, because a lot of software engineers and people who deal in software and computers and electronics are not embarrassed to mention the fact that they play video games. Good things to mention can also be your interest. Interest does not necessarily mean always hobbies. Like, I'm interested in technology. I'm interested in knowing about all the new gadgets that hit the market. And of course, sports is definitely something that a lot of people mention. I love playing cricket. It's like a religion in India. You can say, I love playing football. I play football on the weekends. I play basketball on the weekends. And in a formal situation, you can end by saying something like, this is something about me. In an informal situation, you can invite the other person to say something about themselves also, or end your introduction in this way. So that's a little something about me. What about you? Or I'm looking forward to knowing you. So a whole introduction could be, hello, my name is Sam. I am from Pune. I work as a teacher. In my free time, I enjoy reading about technology and watching football. That's a little about me. Nice meeting you. How about you? So you can see the sequence of things was, you talk about your name, the place that you are from or you are living in, what are you studying or what are you working as, your profession, your hobbies, a little personal information like hobbies and interests. Then of course, finishing it with an ending line like, that's about me. I hope this helps you in your interview and your informal meetings also. Let me try to add a little more about formal meetings like interviews. In an interview, of course, you will have to mention that you are working already with a particular company if you are working. So if you're working with ABC company, you can say, I'm currently working with the ABC company as a sales executive, as a graphic designer. And you can say, I work with ABC company as a graphic designer, or I work as a digital marketing manager. You can also say, I handle a team of 3 people. I handle client relationships, something like that. Okay. I'm a, I'm a I'm a new graduate. I've just graduated and I'm looking for work, or I am between jobs. I left my last company last month and I have been taking a little break. Now I am looking for another job. You've already worked and you have left, you can definitely say, my last company, I worked as a graphic designer at XYZ Limited for a couple of years, or 2 years, or 3 years, or whatever. You have to go on and mention a little about your responsibilities. I was responsible for all the social media graphics in that company. I was responsible to handle clients directly. If you have not worked anywhere, you should mention, definitely go on to mention your college achievements, that I have received an award for public speaking. I have always taken part in the various events organized in the colleges. In fact, I was part of the organizing committee, something like that, whatever. Or maybe like I was a part of my basketball team in the college. These things make a difference. If the company is looking for freshers, they will definitely appreciate that you are a person who is part of the team. They make a mental image about you regarding what you've done. So if you say that I have been a part of a team that organizes events, or even a basketball team, they will look at you as a team player. If you want to show your leadership skills, you can always say that I was the head of the event management team for 3 years, or I was the captain of the basketball team. Definitely, no problem. It shows who you are and what you're capable of, even when you are a fresher. In an interview, definitely you have to mention that why you are a good fit for that company. Always look at the background of the company, find out more information about the company, and say like, I'm good with people, so I will definitely be an asset to the sales team in this company. Since I love doing graphic design, I am excited to be part of the graphic design team, looking forward to making a difference in the marketing team or something like I love numbers, I love accounting, so I am looking forward to become a part of your finance team. So whatever job you're looking for, I'm sure you can find out a little way to show that you are excited to become a part of that team. If you're already experienced, you can mention that experience and say that I already have 3 years of experience in finance, so I will definitely be an asset to your team, your finance team. I've done 3 years of graphic design. I will definitely be a, a great asset to your graphic design team. If I sum up the full interview or something like what HR people usually say, tell me something about yourself. A good example could be for a person who is graduated, my name is Sam. I am from Mumbai. I recently completed my degree in computer science from Mumbai University. During my course, I worked at several projects, including mobile apps that helped students organize studies. I also did a short internship with a startup where I learned about teamwork and meeting deadlines. And now I'm looking for a situation, or now I'm looking for a work which can use my abilities or technical knowledge and continue to grow in that area or continue to grow in the IT industry or the IT field. You can definitely say something like that. If you are already an experienced professional, you can definitely say, let's take a female this time. Like, good morning, my name is Neha. I have a year of experience in digital marketing. I specialize in social media and content strategy. In my current role at the ABC company, I have successfully managed campaigns for e-commerce clients. And you need to mention the results also. You cannot just say that I do things. You can also say, I have successfully managed campaigns for e-commerce clients and increased their sales by 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever uh, number that you can truthfully mention. I have also worked as a startup where it was a great experience to learn how to work under pressure and multitask. So I am now looking for a new situation and new challenges where I can combine my experience and my approach to drive better results. So you're just trying to say that you are looking forward to learn more, to get better results, and use whatever experience that you already have along with your knowledge. Try not to mention your CV word by word, verbatim in a list format. You can definitely remember it, you can definitely rote learn it, but try not to sound like you are speaking like a parrot from memory. So give pauses, uh, do hand gestures wherever possible. It makes you sound more natural. I believe that's it from your experience. If you have more knowledge, you can definitely add that in the comments and tell me. I will add it in my next video. Thank you and have a nice day.